Hey everybody, welcome to the second episode of Jaycees TV. I'm your host, Steve Fappas, and in today's episode, we get to talk about some fun summer events. First up, we have a good friend of mine, Tony Miello, who's going to be talking about the Downriver Beer Summit that's coming up awfully soon. And we may get to hear a little bit about Attack at the Yak, which is a later in the summertime event. Also on the show, we have Kate Beson, who's the Wyandotte Jaycees secretary. And not only is she our secretary, she's also the chairperson of a totally awesome, radical 90s pub crawl that we're hosting this June. So join us as the Wyandotte Jaycees toast the summer. Hey guys, I'm here with my first guest of the show today, Tony Miello. Tony, thanks so much for being on the show.
Thanks for having me, Steve.
Awesome. We're happy to have you here and awesome to be your friend too. I think you do a lot of cool stuff. So
thank you.
It's awesome. So the Wyandotte Jaycees are teaming up with WM Productions.
Event Promotions.
Event Promotions.
Yes, WM Event Promotions.
Event Promotions to run the first annual Downriver Beer Summit. Can you tell us a little bit about what is the Downriver Beer Summit?
Well, the Downriver Beer Summit is going to be a collection of local Michigan brewers, and they'll all have anywhere from 2 to 5 different beers, some very rare, that they'll have on hand for tasting samples. And I believe we have about 20 brewers coming, and there could be as many as 100 beers provided for tasting that day. We're also going to have 2 live bands, Kentucky Chrome and Horse Cave Trio, both rockabilly bands. They'll be on hand, performing all night long. The Yak Arena's floor is going to be covered with rat rods and hot rods, and so cool. We're going to have CIA cheesesteaks out in the court doing food, as well as running the kitchen ourselves, and it's just going to be a cool night of beer and rockabilly.
It sounds awesome. I also heard there's is there a lookalike contest?
Yeah, well, we're hoping to run a Betty Page lookalike contest. We've been advertising it for a while. If you're interested, there's a cash prize. Come on down. You could register at the door. We're also hoping to have an Elvis Presley sound-alike karaoke contest, which you could also register for at the door.
I'm tempted to sign up for that. Like, I don't know how good my Elvis is, but it just
well,
sounds
you know what?
cool.
If you're the only one that enters, then you're shoo-in.
Let's keep it like that, and I'm all over it. Thank you very much. I saw Jeremy from Joe's Hamburgers.
Right.
So he's kind of part of this collaboration too.
He's my partner in all this, and we promote not only the Downriver Beer Summit, but the Michigan Comic Book Expo and Attack at the Yak also.
Okay. So yeah, after this, we'll talk a little bit about Attack at the Yak as well. So we've also partnered with that, and we did one last year, and this one's going to be bigger and better. So that sounds cool. So with the rat rods, what do you got to do with that? Are you going to have them all? Are people going to bring them in?
Well, people are bringing them in. We've had several people register with us.
Okay.
And they're going to be bringing in their rat rods or hot rods, and they'll be parked, as I said, on the arena floor. And we'll be giving away a Downriver Beer Summit rat trophy to the fan favorite car.
Can Jeremy win that? I saw he's got a rat rod behind his shop.
I think Jeremy's going to be
excluded.
Yeah.
Fair enough. He's got enough awards, right? That's awesome. I'm super excited to be a part of it. The Wyandotte Jaycees are helping pour beer and work the door.
Yeah,
I think you guys just said
thanks for you guys.
Big
thanks to the Jaycees for helping us with this and helping us make this happen, because we couldn't do it without you guys. So
thanks, Tony, and we're excited to team up because this is allowing us to do an event we might not have been able to do otherwise. Yeah. So the more stuff that we can do in our community, I think the better place it is.
Yeah, definitely.
And I also believe you guys have another set of volunteers going to help work the door too. Is that right?
It's a veterans organization. I don't know the name of it.
This is brand new development.
This is just developing right now. We're going to be sitting down with them, I think, on Tuesday to work out all the details.
Fantastic.
But yeah, we're bringing in a veterans organization also to help out, and which is something we kind of wanted to do from the beginning, but we really couldn't just we didn't find anybody we clicked with to work with this. Yeah. So we're excited about that. We're big supporters of veterans, and and we're very happy to have him involved with this with us.
Awesome. So the event is June 3rd. It's coming up soon.
June 3rd. So yeah, it's
what
a
times are
week
the
away.
event?
The doors will open to VIP ticket holders at 5 o'clock. General admission opens at 6, and it'll go until probably about midnight.
Okay. And with the ticket purchase, that gets you your samples of your beers, correct?
Yes, you'll get a commemorative Pilsner glass with the Downriver Beer Summit logo on it. You'll get your tickets and entrance, so you can see we're going to have a total of 3 live performances, a DJ playing when the band's not on stage, and you get to taste some of the rarest beers from Shorts and Founders and Atwater, and it's just there's, like I said, there's about 20 of them. And
fantastic.
Yeah.
We needed this type of event in Wyandotte.
I'm honestly shocked that there wasn't something like this
know.
locally before. So
this is cool. Now, hopefully we get to grow it and do this for a lot of years.
Yeah.
So we talked a little bit about Attack at the Yak. We did this once last year. Give us a little rundown. What's Attack at the Yak?
Well, what we do is it's basically 2 events in one. It's the Michigan Comic Book Expo and Attack at the Yak. The Michigan Comic Book Expo is just that. It's a comic book convention. There'll be comic book dealers and vendors on hand selling comics, toys, T-shirts, anything related to comic books and superheroes and things like that. But then there'll also be, as of now, I believe 34 comic book creators on hand with their comics that they've been working on. We have Dave Acosta, who's been doing a lot of work with Dynamite and IDW.
Right.
Dirk Manning, he's a big indie publisher, as well as working with Image and Devil's Due. He does a lot of horror books. Cool. We have a lot of local creators, the El Auto Gang, who are local. They live here in Wyandotte.
Cool.
They're here with their new book, Mariachi. So like I said, there's going to be like 33, 34 comic creators on hand. And in addition to that, we have, to tie into the wrestling, we have some great legendary wrestlers coming in as to sign autographs and meet the fans.
This is cool.
We have Ken Anderson, Mr. Kennedy from the WWE and TNA. Jim the Anvil Neidhart will be there, as well as Ron Simmons. And they'll all be there signing autographs through the Comic Expo. And then a couple of them will be there at night for the Attack at the Yak, which is a live wrestling event. And if you were there last year, it was unbelievable. I mean, there was a steel cage match. It was incredible. But we had about 600 people, and this year the ring is going to be dead center in the arena, and we're going to pull out all the stands, and we're just going to fill that up with people. It's going to be a lot of fun.
There's food there. There's beers there.
We're going to have food. We're going to have beer. There's going to be entertainment. It's going to go almost all day. It's going to be a lot of fun, and Mr. Kennedy is actually going to be getting in the ring and wrestling that night. So
that is killer!
Cool.
I can't wait for that. And I wish Jim would get in there, man. I miss the Heart Foundation, but but it'll be great to have him there and talk with him and hear some old stories and get his autograph.
I'm kind of hoping that the WWE is going to be in town. I'm hoping maybe his daughter Natalia might stop by and say hi. Yeah, that'd be pretty awesome.
Let's try to make that happen, Tony. I love that. So speaking of local comics, you do a comic too, right, Tony?
I do. My comic character is Gappo the Clown, and it's a collection of comic strips. And actually, this month, the first volume of the book will be distributed to comic stores worldwide. So that should be coming out, I believe, the 3rd week of June.
Fantastic.
The 3rd Wednesday of June, you should be able to find it in your local comic shops.
Awesome. I've also noticed, watched on Facebook, you've taken over at the Silver Ballroom a little bit, making some food over there.
Yeah, Mondays and Tuesdays, I do hot Italian sandwiches.
Awesome.
Mondays at the Silver Ballroom are Meatball Mondays. Every Monday, I do homemade meatballs with homemade sauce, Heroes, and it's they've been going over pretty well. I'm a pretty humble guy, except when it comes to my meatballs. I make the best meatballs anywhere.
We got to get down there for that, that's for sure. The hot Italian, making hot Italian sandwiches. I love it. How did you meet Jeremy and even get involved with the Silver Ballroom? And have you guys been friends forever?
I met Jeremy when the first Joe's opened up. And, I'd go in there and say, hey, how you doing? And my son played hockey, so he'd talk to my kid about hockey. And we'd talk about the Red Wings and whatnot. And then when he started the new place, he called me up because he had this idea for the bar top. He wanted to put
comics.
comic books all over the bar top. So he asked me to help him get some comics, and our friendship just kind of grew from there. I was always in the place, and we were always hanging out, and one thing led to the other, and we became really good friends, and now we're business partners. And
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love Jeremy, and he's always thinking.
He's a great guy.
Just thinking of new ideas and what can we do. And you spend 5 minutes with him, and I swear you've started a new business or taking over the world somewhere. I love it. I've seen some stuff inside the Silver Ballroom. So is that where we can go to see some of your art?
Yeah,
even buy it?
All the art, aside from one piece done by Jeremy Hansen, which was a gift to Jeremy, but all the art hanging on the walls in the Silver Ballroom is for sale. I have quite a few pieces hanging up there. Most of it is illustrations I've done for comic conventions or for prints or things like that. A lot of Star Wars themed artwork and different things like that. But it's hanging in the whole back hallway, and there's some hanging up in the main body of the restaurant. So yeah, if you want to see it, you could come on down to the ballroom, have a beer, have a sandwich.
I love it.
Check out the art.
This was funny. I was joking with you about this yesterday. So I saw on your Facebook page you posted that you got an offer, a job offer,
job
right?
offer, yeah. I got an email offering me a job as a sandwich artist.
Yeah, I love it.
And I thought it was hilarious
so did I.
that would come along. So
Yeah,
not to plug anybody, but there's this one company out there that they call their employees sandwich artists, and I just found it ironic that I started advertising that I was doing sandwiches, and I work as an artist. The phone's
ringing off the hook, right?
Yeah, and so now they get this big job waiting for me. So
cool. Do you have any plans for the future? Any other projects that maybe aren't on the table yet that you're thinking of?
I am currently working on 4 different books for my publishing company, Rocketing Studios. They'll be out. I think 2 of them will be out later this year. Another couple out next year. And aside from that, I'm always painting. I'm always working on something.
Awesome.
You could see me this year at the Wyandotte Street Fair. I'll be in the same spot I've been for the last 4 or 5 years.
Cool.
So come on down, and I think I'm right there on the corner of Elm, I think it is. So.
All right, corner of Elm, and I think that's July 12th through the 15th.
Yep.
So that's this year coming up right at the street fair.
Yep.
That's going to be an awesome time. The Jaycees do the
Every
beer
year,
tent there, so come and see Tony, buy some stuff from him.
And then go get loaded over there.
Yeah, go listen to some bands and get us to pour you some beer. Tony, this has been a pleasure. Thank you very much for being on the show. This has been a good time, and look forward to just continuing to work together and making Wyandotte an awesome place. Hey everybody, welcome back to Jaycees TV. I have with us our second guest today, Kate Beson, who is the secretary of the Wyandotte Jaycees, also the chairperson of a very exciting project that we're going to talk about, our 90s pub crawl. And with her we have some committee members from that project. We have John Brewski and Damon Tidwell on the end. Hi guys, thanks for coming to the show. It's so awesome to have you here. This show is we're talking a lot about our summertime events, a lot about beer, which people love. And
it's a good thing.
Especially, and we're throwing this thing back to the 90s with our 90s pub crawl. Tell us a little bit about that.
So this is the annual JC Pub Crawl. We have it every summer around this time. And actually last year we lost the city trolley, so we had a walking pub crawl in December. So this is actually our first year bringing it back.
Yes.
And so we thought, what a better way to bring it back than with a 90s throwback theme. And I think everyone can agree we all love the 90s, right? It was a pretty good time.
Yeah, it was a pretty good time.
Yeah, so I think it'll be a great experience and a really fun time.
So I'm excited about this. So you contacted Trinity. So I don't understand all the details, but the city used to manage the trolley. And then when they lost the management of the trolley or gave it away or sold it or whatever it was, we lost it as the Wyandotte JC. So how did you get it back? What did you do?
So I actually have a couple of contacts at Trinity. I think John actually set us up through there. And I just made contact, and they were able to give us a great deal. And hopefully we'll promote them too if you need a sober ride to or from the actual pub crawl.
Great.
Absolutely, call Trinity. They'll hook you up. So they rehab the trolley. It's in great working order.
Great.
And we're going to be going around downtown Wyandotte.
Fantastic. All right. So John and Damon, you guys are getting ready to join. So you're talking about joining on the pub crawl to get more people involved in the Wyandotte Jaycees. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping for. We're hoping to kind of bring a crowd and maybe cause a little bit of peer pressure and have some other people come on and join with us. I think it'll be a fun time. We saw what you guys were doing. We were like, hey, we want to get involved with that, and we're happy to be on board.
Fantastic. It's awesome. And Damon, what do you guys do a podcast, right? Pod Bros. Tell us a little about that.
Yes, Pod Bros Network. It's a local podcast company. John started it. I just help him do some of the shows, do the social media, stuff like that. We have all sorts of different podcasts that are available to everyone through iTunes, our website podbros.com. There's a podcast for everybody. It's fantastic. Check us out.
Awesome. Tell us a little bit about, you guys are on the committee with Kate. So she contacted you or you contacted her. Tell us about that. What happened there?
Kate reached out to me, actually. She messaged me on Facebook and asked if I wanted to help out with a pub crawl committee. And I said, well, I should probably get my buddy John to help me out with this. John is better at planning things than I am, I feel like. So I just, hey, John, do you want to help me do this? And that's how it started from there.
Fantastic. I came to the first committee meeting with these guys. And right away I could tell we had two guys that were in our age group and doing an awesome job for an organization they weren't even a part of yet. And I said, oh, these guys are going to be great, and really hope that they join. And when John was talking to me the other night at our committee meeting and said, hey, we really want to join during this event, during our event, so other people can see it and get involved with the Wyandotte Jaycees, I thought that was just the most amazing thing. So cheers to many years of contributions to the Wyandotte Jaycees and a JC career. I think that's awesome. What do you, Kate, I'll get back to you a little bit. What do you do professionally?
So I'm actually a lawyer. I'm out on my own.
Awesome.
I do criminal defense and family law, and my actual office is in downtown Detroit in Greektown.
Fantastic.
And I actually practice all over the Metro Detroit area. So I'll be out in Macomb County, Oakland County, Downriver, just all over.
Awesome. One of the things I wanted to ask you about that for is the daylight savings time. I think we joked about this when Kate was a newer JC or more active, and I really want to pursue changing daylight savings time. It's totally for another episode, but I think you're going to help me make that happen, right?
Absolutely. It needs to go through the state government, and hopefully we can get that done. I know
it's
there
a lot
was a
of
bill
work.
proposed earlier. I'm not sure where it's at right now.
And this bill is actually close to what I want, but so let's talk some more about the pub crawl. What are some of the stops on the way? Let's do each person do a stop. What do you got?
I have Captain's and Dot Pub, two of my favorite drinking establishments. So,
Fantastic.
yes.
Then we're also going to have Whiskies on the Water.
Awesome.
And our next step after that would be Silver Ballroom and Joe's, who we had Tony Miello on earlier.
Yep.
So we're absolutely interested in hooking up with him again, and it'll be
Yep.
great. And from there, we're going to Sports.
Sports, yep.
And I think we just got Firehouse on board.
I
too, as
talked to
well.
the Firehouse. If you guys are watching at home from the Firehouse, thanks for getting the crawl going and being a part of it. So yeah, we locked them in. That's exciting. And Frank's Cafe, who the JCs, that used to be our hangout, was Frank's Cafe. So I'm glad we brought that back as a stop on the pub crawl. Pub crawl in the past for the Wyandotte JCs has been a members only event. Tell us about the changes that, and then Kate, I guess.
Okay, so what we've noticed is we usually have a core group of JCs in the area. We usually like 30 to 40 in our chapter, and everyone always comes out for pub crawl. But we always find that it's not only is it fun to invite non-members, but we also get good membership. We get people coming to us. We get people that are maybe outside of our age range, so over 40, hopefully not under 21, because they wouldn't be on the pub crawl.
We have some legal folks that can help take care of that.
Yes, they would not be allowed to drink anyways. So it's just great to have a great mix of people and get out and hang with people and get other people interested in the JCs that might not have known about us before. That's actually how I joined the JCs 4 years ago, was on a pub crawl. Someone invited me out their work, and I'm like, all right, this is a great time. And I said, you know what, I'll pay my dues for the year, and I'll see what other beer events you guys have going on, and it's well worth the dues, for sure.
It sure is. I've had fun. I've been on probably 10 pub crawls, and it's one of my favorite projects, and I'm glad we got these guys on it too. John and Damon, tell me a little bit about the theme.
All right, so we sat down and we decided, you know what, a lot of people do other types of themes. You know, 80s is kind of popular, but we realize it's 2017 now, that a lot of these people that can drink remember the 90s, and we thought, what better way to recognize a fun era than to put it into a pub crawl? So not only are we going to have some of the fun throwback stuff, it's not going to be a particular point in the 90s. It's going to be spread out. So we're talking about having like grunge set up. Yeah, there might be pogs somewhere, some hacky sacks, yo-yos. We'll see how it goes.
All right. What do you think, Damon? What says 90s to you about this pub crawl?
90s to me about the pub crawl, obviously, you know, hacky sacks are going to be involved, the slap bracelets. I'm having a little trouble remembering some of the other things from the 90s because I was 10 when it ended. So, you know, there's other cool stuff. Like, obviously, everyone's going to be dressing up. The logo is very retro for the pub crawl. There's just a lot of different things about the pub crawl that really represent the 90s.
Excellent. Kate, tell us, what do you get with the ticket?
So with the ticket, there are limited available, so make sure you go on Facebook and our Eventbrite page and make sure you get a ticket early. You get a t-shirt that we designed. One of our members actually designed it. She's a graphic designer. She did an excellent job, Kate Foster. And then you also get the trolley ride, so going out to all the different spots. Not only are we going down Biddle, but we're also going, like you said, to Frank's and the Rockery and Brass Monkey and maybe a few other stops, maybe a little bit off the beaten track. And then you're also going to have some fun surprises on the trolley.
All right.
We already kind of mentioned the hacky sacks and the slap bracelets, and there might be some drunken gummy bears as well.
Okay.
They may or may not contain alcohol.
All right. I'm
For
excited
adults
about that.
only.
Adults only. Well, adults only be on the trolley. And one thing I like that you mentioned is that we have the Millennium Trolley, which is awesome, which kind of fits the theme because the Millennium had just happened in 2000, right after the 90s, so we get to ride that. But people don't have to drink and drive, and that's really important as young leaders, that we make sure that people are safe and still get to have fun. So we got the trolley for that, and linked up with Trinity Transportation to help get people rides home if they had a little bit too much to drink or something like that. So excited about getting in there and seeing some of these bars. Are you guys particularly excited about any? You guys have never been on a Wyandotte Jaycees pub crawl, so what are you kind of excited about?
You know, I'm just excited to have that gathering of people, to know that not only are we going out and we're going to have fun, but it's also going to help out with the Jaycees and help out with certain campaigns that you guys are doing. I think that's really great. We're going to be taking some photos and try to get some people's a few quotes from some people.
Oh, I love that.
We can post online, so that'll be pretty great. I'm just looking to have a good time with it.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as John. I'm very excited to network with some awesome young leaders in the community and, you know, just have good fun and a good time for a great cause. You know, anti-bullying is a very powerful thing that we need to support. So I'm glad that we are able to be a part of something as special as this pub crawl. Excellent.
Kate, tell us a little bit about the anti-bullying campaign.
Sure. So normally this is just a fun event for the Jaycees. We don't try and make a profit off of it.
Right.
But we do expect there to be a big amount of crowds. So we thought, you know, we're probably going to make a small profit. And so what a better way to put it somewhere but our anti-bullying campaign, which is our statewide focus for the Michigan Jaycees. And so actually this is going to stay local, and it's going to go to our local chapter, which is going to put on our own anti-bullying campaign specific to our area. And I believe they're having a planning meeting right before the pub crawl on June 8th.
Excellent.
At 6 o'clock at Biddle Blend.
Okay, so the community could come to that too if they wanted to.
Absolutely, if you want to get more
That's
involved
perfect.
in the anti-bullying campaign.
Excellent. So we got a pub crawl that's going to go to a great cause. We're going to have a lot of fun. We want to get a bunch of people from the community out there to join us, see what the Jaycees are all about. And with that, I'd like to thank my guests, Kate, John, and Damon, for coming on the show to promote the event and talk to me a little bit about it. And with that, after this segment, check out on the screen, you're going to get to see about how to join the Jaycees, where we're holding our meeting, and some ways to get in touch with us. So let's see you out on that pub crawl. I'm looking forward to it. Thanks very much for watching the show. Another great episode of Jaycees TV. I'd like to take a moment to thank our special guests today, Tony Miello for the Downriver Beer Summit, and our secretary, Kate Beson, and her committee, Damon Tidwell and John Brewski, for our totally awesome 90s pub crawl. Thank you guys so much for doing the show. We look forward to these awesome events. You guys got to come on down and check out Wyandotte this summer. Got to come to our beer summit. You got to come to the pub crawl. You got to check out Attack at the Yak and just see what's happening. Check out the website. Check out the Facebook. See what we're doing. These projects are going to be awesome, and looking forward to a great summer in Wyandotte. Wyandotte what?